Welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, the 2016 WWE Battleground preview. Battleground is a little less than a week away. It's currently about 2 hours before Raw starts. So I figured with Raw tonight, with the world title match between Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, and then tomorrow night, the first live SmackDown and the brand expansion draft. Started looking some things up and realized the Battleground card's already out. Eight strong matches. Done the pre-show. They could add matches. I don't think they'll take anything away. So I figured, what the hell, you know what I mean? Let's get this over, get this in, and that way we can move forward. So I'm going to have a Roberts 10. I'm going to rank the WWE superstars today. Top 10 tag teams, top 10 women wrestlers today, WWE NXT. Once the draft happens and we figure out who's coming up from NXT, who's joining NXT, here in about a month or two, I'll do another top 10 with Raw, SmackDown, NXT all separated out. Let's get this Battleground preview underway. First, we have the WWE Intercontinental title on the line. We have champion The Miz versus Darren Young. Let's make Darren Young great again. Darren Young was never great. Sorry to say that. The Miz, 78th Intercontinental Champion of all time. He's held the title 111 days. He won it the Monday after WrestleMania. Since 2003, there's only been 10 of the 58 title runs longer than the current Miz's title run. Darren Young, this is only his second ever singles match on pay-per-view. Wow. We seen the Miz TV last week on Raw. I think it was Raw, SmackDown, one of the two, whatever it was. They all run together anymore. We've seen the Miz TV when they showed the Bob Backlund video clip, which was great. Watching some old WrestleManias I've watched, 1 through 18. Seeing Backlund some of the early days is kind of cool. Yeah, Darren Young was like, nothing. Nothing great about Darren Young. This is horrible. I can see them putting the title on Darren Young. I don't put it past WWE right now because they're trying to make Darren Young great again. There's no reason for it. Miz retains. Next, we have Becky Lynch versus Natalya. Why? This is a Raw match. Come on. Becky Lynch should be in a WWE Women's title match. Wait. The Women's title is not even on the line tonight, so this match makes sense. Natalya turning on Becky, whatever it was at the last pay-per-view. Becky Lynch has never won a singles match on a pay-per-view. While Natalya's last singles match win on a pay-per-view was SummerSlam 2013 versus Brie Bella. So I got Becky Lynch winning this. Next, we have WWE United States title on the line. We have champion Rusev, the Bulgarian Brute, versus Zack Ryder. Yeah. Zach, just go back to NXT and hang out with Mojo Rawley and be the Hype Bros and just get out of a singles title match in WWE. You just need to go back to NXT. Rusev wins this. Next, we have probably one of the most bizarre feuds ever. We have the New Day versus the Wyatt family. Tag titles not on the line. The New Day are the WWE World Tag Team Champions. As of Battleground, 336 days and counting. This is the longest ever title run for the WWE Tag titles. The old World Tag titles that they had before they unified them. The last title run that was longer than this one was Demolition, Axe, and Smash from WrestleMania 4, March of 1988. They had held the titles 478 days. So, but unfortunately with the New Day, just like you'll see with the Women's Champion, if you don't defend the titles, you can't lose them. Yeah, that whole thing with the Wyatt compound and the New Day was just been fucking retarded. I mean, if we knew what was coming out of this, it might be a more cool feud. But it seems like every feud that Bray Wyatt has, he gets shit on. So it's like, I don't care anymore. I love Bray Wyatt. I think he's the next Undertaker. Develop that character more. Put him with people that can wrestle, not the two fucking pieces of shit that he's with him. When Luke Harper gets back, just have Luke Harper and Bray Wyatt and get rid of the other two and be good. Next, we have a women's tag match. We have The women's champion Charlotte teaming with Dana Brooke versus Sasha Banks and TBA to be announced. Paige and Sasha tagged up on a Raw, 3 weeks ago? Could it be Paige? Could it be Bayley? NXT Diva? Former NXT Women's Champion? That's my pick. I think Bayley. Bayley was part of the Four Horsewomen with Becky Lynch, Sasha, and Charlotte. So that would make sense. Bayley making her main roster debut. We don't know. It's up in the air. It's either Sasha or Paige. The only two I'd guess. In singles matches, though, Sasha versus Charlotte. Sasha is 18-5. The women's title, the Divas title, now the women's title. Charlotte has held the two combination title runs 308 consecutive days. September 20th, 2015 is when Charlotte won the Divas title, which turned into the women's title. 2 out of the last 3 women's champion titles, 2 out of the last 3 women's title changes has happened at Night of Champions, which is now this year is called the Clash of Champions, which is in September. Nikki won it there, and then 2 years ago, and then last year, Charlotte beat her for it. Why you have these two particular divas hold titles so long in back-to-back title runs, I'll never know. When the WWE created a new women's title or brought back the women's title, they changed the lineage of it. So if you look it up, the only women's champion in WWE is Charlotte, for 100 and some days. They didn't even carry over the title run she had with the Divas title. It's like us fans are stupid. We'll never, she's only had the title 100 and some days. Oh, I thought it's been longer than that. So, why they did it, I'll never know. The last woman to hold the women's title at least as long as Charlotte has so far, which will be 308 days next Monday at the pay-per-view, which will be Brie Bella's, which Brie just went over 301. The last, not Brie, Nikki Bella, excuse me. Nikki just had a 301 day title run. She beat AJ Lee's 295 days. Now Charlotte's beating that back-to-back runs here. Trish had a 448 day women's title run back at that ended at WrestleMania 22. The last time Charlotte defended the women's title, June 20th on a Raw. The last pay-per-view was defended on Payback, May 1st. Come on now. These title runs don't mean a lot. I mean, if you look back at Fabulous Moolah, she had the title 10,000 days. She never defended it. The 3 matches that I'm really, really looking forward to: Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, John Cena and Zone Kaz versus AJ Styles in the Club, then the world title, Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. First was Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. These two have been feuding either together or against each other since September 11th, 2004. Their very first match was in Combat Zone Wrestling, CZW, in a 4-way. Zayn has been in 679 professional wrestling matches, while Kevin Owens has been in 670. They've had 679, 670, 670 plus career professional wrestling matches. 134 of those have been either tagging together or versus each other or one-on-ones. They've fought in Combat Zone Wrestling, CZW, in PWG, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, in Chikara, in Ring of Honor, ROH, in NXT, and in WWE. Singles during the indie run, El Generico versus Kevin Steen. El Generico, aka Sami Zayn, was 7-5. With the NXT and WWE, Sami Zayn is 8-3 versus Kevin Owens. As a tag team, they were 44-23. They held 2-time Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, I believe, and 1-time PWG Tag Team Champions. Kevin Owens is 2 months older than Sami Zayn. These two guys have their careers, if you could just line the tails of the tape up, so just dynamically the same. When both these guys signed with WWE when Sami Zayn first came in to NXT, and then Kevin Owens to follow. As an indie fan, being at 2 Ring of Honor shows, one during their 2-year-long feud, 2010 I think it was, Chapter 2 Hate was named the show in Collinsville. Just realizing this 2-year-long feud these guys have. Like I've seen in other videos, I wanted these guys to, they started kind of a feud in NXT. They started the feud this year in Royal Rumble. Zayn came out and eliminated Owens from the Rumble. They were in the 7-way ladder match at Mania together. They were in Money in the Bank together. Keep this feud going all year long. It just, every month or two, just pull it out and do something with it. You know, have this match. This is supposed to be the match to end all matches, to end this feud, so they both can move forward. That's great, but you can still do it. You could still, every few months, every big kind of match, have these guys come out. You could set up WrestleMania 33. You could have these guys wrestle for the WWE World Heavyweight title, or a World title, whichever, the SmackDown title or the Raw title. Have these guys on the same show. Keep this going. I got Kevin Owens winning this. Zayn won the last one-on-one matchup they had. Next we have Enzo and Cass versus with John Cena versus AJ Styles in the Bullet Club. Bullet Club, too sweet. I'm sorry, the Club. Bullet Club. That was New Japan. Just, I've been a fan of AJ Styles for, oh golly gee, I don't know, 2007. Yeah. Because I think it was 2008, I went to Hard Justice. So the year before, I started watching TNA. I've been an AJ Styles fan ever since. I always just dreamed of AJ Styles in the WWE ring, headlining a WrestleMania. His first ever WrestleMania versus Chris Jericho. Okay, I'm fine with that. Just knowing how good this guy is and where this guy's career has been. Same with Samoa Joe. Just wishing these guys would have made this here 5 years ago, where they were in more the prime of their career versus now on the downside of their career. John Cena versus AJ Styles. Everybody talked about a dream match it was. I never did see it at first, and then I thought about it and realized how big John Cena is in WWE, how big AJ Styles was in TNA. Mr. TNA versus Mr. WWE. We had it. AJ Styles won. Now here we have AJ with the club, or joining the club, I guess you would say, because he left the club and came back. I don't know. Enzo and Cass kind of getting in there with John Cena, which is great. Big Enzo and Cass fan now since they hit the main roster. Think the world of him. John Cena in the last 5 years, he's became a superstar to me. I know before in the last 10 years he's been a superstar, but the last 5, I would say his wrestling ability went from here to here. 5 years ago, Money in the Bank, Chicago. 5-star match with CM Punk. Had to kill Punk reference in. So there's been 3 one-on-one matches versus John Cena versus AJ Styles. Styles has won 2 of them, and there's been 2 other 6-man tags like this, and Cena and Enzo and Cass won it. I actually have AJ Styles in the club winning this one. I do want to mention a couple things I haven't mentioned at the top here. As we all know, Brock Lesnar. UFC 200 getting the victory over Mark Hunt, and then getting a pop for some type of failed drug test. Don't know exactly what. All kinds of rumors out there, and he's denying it. Don't know for sure what's going on. Is it going to affect the SummerSlam match with Randy Orton? So, time will tell. SummerSlam, I believe, is August 21st, maybe 24th, something like that. WWE has this week basically to suspend him for 30 days. If it happens after this week, it will affect that match. So we'll see what happens there. And also, for you CM Punk fans, mentioning UFC 202, which is on the 21st, 20th, whatever. I think 20th is what that Saturday before SummerSlam, which is when CM Punk will make his UFC debut, UFC 202. That night's also the TakeOver Brooklyn show. So some good matches set up for that one. Samoa Joe and Shinsuke Nakamura. Oh, okay. So before we get to this main event, I wanted to kind of throw that out there a little bit. And if anybody's watching the Cruiserweight Classic, please don't comment on any spoilers, but comment if you're watching it. Comment what you thought of week 1. last Wednesday after NXT. I thought the Kota Ibushi match was a 4-star match. I'm big on the Japan guys, the Lucha Libre kind of guys. I'm really huge on. I thought all 4 matches were good. At least I think all of them I gave at least a 3.5 star too. I give a 4-star to that main event. So we'll see what happens going forward with that. Roman Reigns' cousin, Sean Miota or something like that. Great debut for him for that Cruiserweight Classic. I thought he was great. Obviously somebody in that family has talent, finally. Signed him to an NXT contract. Alright, main event here, ladies and gentlemen. WWE World Heavyweight Title on a triple threat match. We have the Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose, as your WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Yes! Versus Seth Rollins, 2-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion, versus 3-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion, the drug user and drug test failure Roman Reigns himself, coming off his 30-day suspension for the wellness policy. Roman Reigns, bye-bye. Get the fuck out of here. You do not deserve to be in this title match. I am so sorry if anybody likes Roman Reigns and I offend you. He cannot fucking wrestle. He does not deserve to be in this match because of his suspension. To me, as you could suspend anybody on this roster, I like him or not, if you get suspended for 30 days for the first failed test, 60 days for the second failed test, when you get back, you do not need to be in a world title match, period. I don't care if it's Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, John Cena, who. You're forcing Roman Reigns down our throat, WWE. Vince, Tripp, what the fuck do you see in this guy? Because he's the Rock's cousin, which no one's mentioned in a while. Thought that was kind of convenient. He does not need to be here. Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose, done. Which we've seen 48 times. Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins, and Rollins has won 28 of them. We've seen Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins 18 times. Seth Rollins has won 7. Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns, or Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns, yes. We've seen 1 time. And I believe Ambrose got the victory on that one. The first Shield match was back in 2012. The day before TLC, as we all know, 2012 Survivor Series. These 3 guys come through the crowd and attack John Cena. I think it was John Cena they attacked. Whatever, they insert themselves in the match and attack these, and we learned who they were. I remember watching this in the Pro Wrestling Pulse dungeon, and we all just like marked out when we were like, oh my God, that's Seth Rollins. Oh my God, Dean Ambrose. Of course, we were like, Tyler Black, John Moxley, holy crap, who's the other guy? So, we didn't know who he was. So, anyway, then we'll wrap up the 2016 WWE Battleground preview. I know any Robert Sports Show fans out there know I really haven't been doing a lot of videos lately. Been a lot going on, kind of crazy work schedule, crazy home life, whole 9 yards. Hopefully I'll get back into it. We are 2 months away from the NFL season, the NCAA season. As you know, everything Robert Sports Show is now on one channel. Everything's divided down the bottom. Each kind of sport I follow, NASCAR, pro wrestling, NFL, NCAA, all listed nice and neat down below their own little folder. So make sure you check them all out. Check out that Robert's 10 WWE Superstars. Obviously, kind of have to change the end of this show a little bit because you can't check out all of Robert Sports Show. Robert Sports Show, the YouTube Leading Sports channel is kind of not like fit anymore. So let's try this one here. Don't have a great night. Have an American night.